everyone, and welcome to the daily newspaper analysis, which is brought to you by LawSikho. So, today we have only one article that we will be studying, that is from Errors of Judgment. Please mind, this article is from the Hindu newspaper. So, this article actually talks about the recent judgment of the Allahabad High Court that has come in the light of the POXO Act. So, why is that judgment a bit something that needs to be scrutinized, and why is it shocking? We will be seeing in this particular discussion. So, this newspaper analysis has been presented by me. My name is Sheva Khan. I am a BA LLB law graduate, and I have completed my law degree from Uttaranchal University in the year 2019. I also completed my graduation with a gold medal in my batch, and I also have been a national debater and a public speaker. Here at LawSikho, I'm working as an expert for current affairs, and I'm also managing the current affairs vertical. Let's see what is the multiple choice question from our previous discussions. How many countries are there, including the United Kingdom, that still have Queen as the crown head? Your options are 11, 12, 13, or 14. You can write down your answer in the comment section below. This is the descriptive question for the day. Critically analyze the ruling of Allahabad High Court in Sonu Kushwaha versus State of Uttar Pradesh case. So this article basically, which talks about the errors of judgment, talks about the Allahabad High Court that has recently given the judgment and held that oral sex with a minor was not aggravated penetrative sexual assault as is mentioned under the POXO Act. So the case name is Sonu Kushwaha versus State of Uttar Pradesh. Let's see that why at all this judgment is shocking in its very first belief. So the victim in this case, the first thing that we need to consider here was merely 10 years old. That is, it is a very young child. And that is why it is held that anybody who commits penetrative sexual assault on a child below 12 years of age is committing aggravated penetrative sexual assault according to Section 5 Clause M of the POXO Act. Here, the POXO Act is the Prevention of Children from Sexual Offences Act. And also, Section 6 of this Act provides that such offence shall be punished with imprisonment not less than 10 years, which may be extendable up to imprisonment for life. But the judge in this case, however, held that the act of putting the male genitalia into the mouth of a 10-year-old was not aggravated penetrative sexual assault. Now, here we need to see that what was the actual purpose of bringing the POXO Act in the very first place. We definitely have provisions under Section 354 that we have sexual harassment and other similar provisions in the Indian Penal Code as well. But the reason why POXO Act was brought in the first place was that such offences, when they're committed or if they're committed against children, that are against the minors, so they are taken more seriously, and that the people who are doing so, the offenders, should be punished in a graver manner. If at all in this situation we think that putting of the male genitalia into the mouth of a 10-year-old is, even this is not aggravated penetrative sexual assault, then what actually would be? So that is why this judgment has been highly criticized, and it is believed that it should be scrutinized. Now, there are other grounds as well on which the scrutiny of this particular judgment has been sought. Firstly, that there is no ambiguity in POXO about the language of Section 5 of the Act, which means it is very much clear, and it clearly states that if at all this sexual assault is below, has been committed on a child below the age of 12 years, which in this case is, since the child was only 10 years old, so that would be considered to be committing aggravated penetrative sexual assault. Now, the second point is that in the absence of such ambiguity, it is unclear why the court decided to deviate from the law as said. So here, the bench or the judgment clearly does not tell as to why they felt a need that they need to deviate themselves from using Section 5 Clause M of the POXO Act, and instead did not take it as an aggravated penetrative assault and rather took it as in the other way. Further, the POXO does not give any independence in deciding punishment to the adjudicating authority. So it's not like that you really have a choice whether or not you want to use the provisions of POXO. If at all everything is valid and they can be applied, then the provisions of POXO should be applied. And the High Court was mandated to follow the provisions, which it did not. The court also did not deliberate on why the offense was not considered as an aggravated offense. The Supreme Court states that the mentioning the cause for such judgment upholds judicial accountability and transparency as well, and that's why it's important that if at all Allahabad High Court in this case chose not to make use of the provisions of the POCSO, or chose not to take this incident as an aggravated form of sexual assault, then it definitely needs to give clear, logical, and valid reasons behind such decision. So the application of the Act is ensured by the following. Firstly, we have the National Commission for Protecting Child Rights. Secondly, we have the state government. And thirdly, we have the State Commission for the Protection of Child Rights. So these bodies should challenge this particular decision such that the accused is not allowed to escape from the clutches of the law, which in this case he clearly would. So this was all for the day. Thank you so much for holding on with us. If you liked the session, please give it a thumbs up. If you wish to download the PDF of today's slides, please consider joining our Telegram channel. The link is there in the description box below, or you can scan the QR code that you can see on your screens right now. Also, please do not forget to follow us on our Instagram channels for Judiciary, CLAT Prep, UGC Net, as well as Law Finance exams. Thank you so much.